and welcome to the Hyperfixation, where our friends come onto our show and tell us about things they're excited about for 30 to 45 minutes or longer, because you know what? The timer is a lie! My name is Roma, I use the they and them pronouns, and today I'm joined by the returning, the wonderful, the beautiful Ashley.
Hello, I use the she and her pronouns.
So Ashley, what have you had? What? It's been a minute since we had you on the show, since Star Trek.
Yeah.
And so, as we could see on the visual format, we're talking about a new topic, not even close to the Star Trek department.
No. And the main reason is I didn't want to do 2 Star Treks in a row. Next time, watch out for Star Trek.
Oh my god. I'm not.
I'm going to
I'm
do Star Trek again at some point.
I'm gonna hold my arms are out open, ready for season 6, Star Trek.
Yes. Can we just skip to season 6 right now?
We're 3 episodes in, damn it. Goddamn.
It's fine. It's fine.
An
episode out of time.
An episode out of time. It's just way ahead of itself. But yeah, we're talking about Paper Mario today, right?
Yes, specifically Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, as it's gotten its remake recently in the last couple weeks. I forget when it came out. But God, it is one of the best things Nintendo's ever made. The best RPG that Nintendo's ever made, in my opinion. Xenoblade fans will kill me for that, but fuck them. Anyway. But yeah, so one of the greatest things about Paper Mario, before we get into anything, and because I just have it set up, is its music, which I have a little bit of lined up in the presentation. I hope it's heard.
I can't hear it.
You can't hear it?
No.
Fuck. Well. Oh shit, that's not what I meant to do either. We're good. It's all good. Nothing's wrong.
Nothing's wrong. Everything's fine.
Well, fuck. Wait. Look, this is gonna be edited. It's fine.
Yeah. This isn't live. Even if it was live, it's fine.
It's a you problem.
I had the stream turned down.
That'll do it.
I'm the problem, it's me. Oh, this rules.
Yeah. And now it's going to a whole different thing that I have to click out of. No, stop.
Oh, this rules. I love this.
I was gonna say, why does it look funky on your end? It's because of green screens, and there's a green mound in the middle of this image.
Oh my god, I can turn that off.
Oh well. No, it's scuffed, and it's meant to be scuffed because it's scuffed.
I never wanted to be scuffed.
This is what God intended.
Oh, you know what's funny? If I take away the green screen on one, it takes away the green screen on yours VTuber model.
Gotta love it.
So the scuff will stay.
Wait, so if you've turned it up now, we can just pretend like nothing ever happened and listen to it now.
I'm listening to it for the first time, and it is so fucking rad. Sound design in games is incredible. Oh!
Yeah, you weren't expecting it.
I wasn't expecting the funky jams. Do you think they'll have like a rhythm game for Paper Mario's soundtrack, just like they do for Final Fantasy?
God, I'd love it. I want it so bad.
We'll get it in a couple years.
The green screen element is going to be very funny when if I need to bring up anything in the game, because there's so much green in the game.
Let me see if
anyway,
I can fix this. Oh god.
Nah, it's fine. It'll be scuffed and it'll be fine. But yeah, so Paper Mario is fucking great, and so the Thousand Year Door follow up to the original Paper Mario 64, which I don't think is as interesting as the Thousand Year Door, but is just as good of a game. But I grew up playing Thousand Year Door. It's going to forever be my favorite. I cannot listen to this banging soundtrack while trying to speak. Yeah, so the first three Paper Mario games come out. There's the original 64, which they're turn-based battlers, where every time you their gimmick, not only in being paper-like, is that when you go to do an attack, you can do an extra input to do extra damage, or get extra things done, whatever. So it's a bit more interactive than, say, the old Final Fantasy games where you just kind of push a button and the numbers go down.
Yeah.
Which it's what makes me love this game, because I cannot play any RPG where it's just press the button and number go down, and my brain does not care about it. So when I was growing up, I had a GameCube, got this game, became one of the best games of all time, obviously. And one of its charming bits is its entire story and how it portrays the Mushroom Kingdom in such a unique way compared to everything else. Exemplified by this intro sequence of how we get into this mess.
Oh, that's so cute. Oh my gosh. Way to out yourself. Hey,
such a good fucking game. So this gets us into, don't mind the aspect ratio. I could not find the respective images in the remake, and I was not going to play the entire game over in 3 days.
No, valid.
To get them. But that leads us into the prologue. So the setup of this game is that Princess Peach is doing a tour of the Mushroom Kingdom and finds herself refueling in a place called Rogueport, which is this little town square we just saw.
Mm-hmm.
And it's where all of the, seedy criminals go to hide from the law.
Oh.
And she meets this mysterious figure who gives her a chest saying that only the pure of heart can open this. And she opens it and she finds a map. And this map is supposedly leading to this legendary treasure behind 1,000-year door. A door that's been closed for 1,000 years. Can only be opened through items called the crystal stars coming together to power the opening mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
And so immediately she just sends it in a letter to Mario and was like, hey, can you help me? Because this sounds really cool and I can't do it. And right after sending that letter to Mario, she gets fucking kidnapped, because that's her whole shtick, is getting kidnapped.
Of course.
And so Mario arrives to Rogueport. Yep, here's the dock of Rogueport. Oh my gosh, a thing fell on my desk and scared the shit out of me. One thing I want to show from this screenshot immediately is this variation of styles of characters. So it's not just like, oh, a bunch of red toads and bob-ombs that, you've seen bob-ombs before. It's like, oh, these are people who definitely look like they work at a shitty fucking port all day. And
so
it is something that the Paper Mario community has yelled about for a fucking 2 decades nearly, because you don't see this very often again after the third Paper Mario.
Oh.
Yep, and people love giving shit to Miyamoto for it. I don't know whose decision it is to make every Paper Mario game just full of red toads. But it's such a mistake, and this game is a very good example of why, because the variety is amazing. But Mario shows up, and then he immediately encounters a girl Goomba being harassed by this weird freak. It goes to protect her, and kind of reluctantly, kind of forced into it, because he shows up just like seeing it happen. She sees him And it's just like, yeah, hey, if you don't stop fucking with me, this guy will beat you up. And Mario is immediately like, no, I don't want fucking trouble. He shakes his head. He's like, no, I'm not a hero in this game. I'm just kind of reluctantly pushed into being one.
Yeah.
So here on the right is God, what's his name? Crump, something like that. Lord Crump.
What a guy.
He is an X-Naut. You don't see very many X-Nauts for the first like chapter, so I'm not going to get into them just yet. But they are the main villain of this story. And so here is this legendary map. This is a completed version of the map. I could not find a decent version of the uncompleted map.
Okay.
But this shows everywhere we're going to go throughout the game, and one by one. But so upon getting the map, Mario doesn't really know how to read it, and none of this stuff is really filled out. It's a very bare bones map.
Yeah.
But Bella is an archaeology student, and so knows, hey, I also don't know what this is, but my professor is nearby, and he would definitely fucking know.
Yeah.
And so they go. This is her professor, Professor Frankly, who is very excited to know that the legendary map has been found.
Woo!
And so it says, hey, there's this legend that, if you hold the map in front of the Thousand-Year Door, it'll tell you where to go to find the crystal stars.
Oh, perfect.
And so we venture below Rogueport, because Rogueport is built on the ruins of the civilization that made the Thousand-Year Door.
Mm-hmm.
We go into the sewer system, essentially, and get kind of stuck. And here's our first little bit of charm of this game that I absolutely love, that I wish came in for the future games. You find a black chest that inside a voice is coming out of, and it's like, oh hey, only the great hero of all time can hear my voice. If you let me out, I'll give you all these amazing things. And immediately Goombella and Professor Frankly's like, hey, we can also hear that dude. I think he's a fucking liar. But you free him anyway because there's nothing else to really do. You're kind of stuck.
Yeah.
And you immediately get cursed.
No!
I could not find a good image, so thank you on YouTube to ZX Mini for their thumbnail. I am stealing it anyway.
Yeah.
And so out of it pops this scary face, kind of puts you into this purple dimension for a little bit, and curses you to when you stand on specific platforms and press a button, you'll turn into a paper airplane. And so that's how you cross a chasm that you couldn't have previously crossed.
Okay.
And you get to the Thousand-Year Door and hold the map aloft before it to see where you got to go next.
Ta-da!
And while Mario and Goombella don't really know it, Professor Frankly's kind of lived here for a little while, and so he's like, "Oh, well, that's Petalburg,"
Mm-hmm.
and we make our venture off into Chapter 1, the Castle and Dragon chapter.
This is so cute.
So you go to Petalburg. There's this little village of Koopas, and here beside Mario, you see the next partner you get other than Goombella is Koops. He is this kind of scaredy cat. Wants to be a hero Koopa, but is too timid to do so.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you enter this area, a giant dragon flies above the area. And there's like, well, if there's anywhere the crystal star is going to be, it's at the Dragon's Keep.
Of course.
And so they have to find a way to get to the Dragon's Keep. And they go through Petalburg, this city, and into some of these like older ancient ruins behind the city. But to get in there and get the keys that will allow them to get into the full Dragon's Keep, they come across a Thwomp who challenges them to a game show of wits and knowledge.
Oh my god.
The song for this specific area as well is fucking wonderful. It is so, they ham it up so much. I absolutely love this game, but I cannot stop talking about it. So he asks you 5 questions, between 5 and like 8 questions, I think.
Mm-hmm.
If you get 3 wrong, then you have to do a battle. I forget what the battle is because I never get it wrong. But every time you get a question right, he's just like, how the fuck did you know that? This is ridiculous. And the more questions you get right, the more pissed off he gets that you're getting them right. If you get all 5 questions right that you need, he's just like, well, this fucking sucks. I guess you can go. And lets you in.
Damn. He's
And
like
so,
failing as a gatekeeper, honestly.
literally the worst gatekeeper I've ever met in my life.
Oh my goodness.
Um, he asks you, "Where's the crystal star?" It's like it's been very heavily established, so it's not meant for you to really lose. If you've been paying even the slightest amount of attention in the game, you're gonna win, and it's just really funny.
It's adorable.
Uh, Also, while we're at this screenshot, can we talk about the lighting in this remake? It is fucking gorgeous. I love how everything looks in this game.
It is beautiful. Like, and I love the mixture of the 2D and the 3D.
Yes.
It's just fantastic. I've
And it's
never. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
one of the bigger complaints with the newer, like the past 3 Paper Mario games has been, oh, they've leaned too far into the paper aesthetic and everything is just about being paper, which I tend to agree with. It's fun, but Paper Mario was more, oh, hey, what about an RPG that looks like it's made out of paper rather than, oh, an RPG about paper? And they towed the line very well of like they even made some of the stuff in the original game that didn't really look like paper look like it was made out of crafts, and I absolutely love it.
Hmm.
Um, but what were you gonna say before I said that?
I'm trying to remember. Oh, I have never. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I knew Paper Mario existed until this year, until when this game came out.
Hmm.
So this is like completely new territory for me. So I'm just blown away through this whole journey. Like I
It's so fucking good.
I you know, Mario has been producing so much different like variations of games. It's just incredible to see what how much they could do with just a plumber and the crew, you know?
Right? It's just it's endless material, especially once you get to their older games. Like I was originally going to talk about Super Paper Mario, and I just did not have enough time to replay the game. So I was like, "Fuck it!" I played this game all the way through like a week ago, so I'm going to talk about this game.
I'm
Um,
happy you are. Oh my goodness.
Super Paper Mario, I think it would have made it an amazing episode, and I might do it eventually. It is the craziest story Nintendo's ever written, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Um, Thousand Year Door coming at like a middle of the road kind of craziness. It is just much more zany and cartoony. Anyway, to get back onto Thousand Year Door. So once you get through the thwomp, you go into this like sewer system. You have a fight with some fuzzies. I didn't get any screenshots of that because I wanted to just get to the parts that I absolutely love about this game.
Oh no, absolutely.
Um, but you get the keys to the keep in there, and on your way to the keep, Coops officially joins you then. So you don't have Coops until after the Thwomp encounter. Um, and he joins you because his father went to fight Hooktail, the dragon, and just never came back. So he fears that, like, oh, his dad is dead, and he wants to go avenge his dad.
Mhm.
And become in that process a little bit more like his dad, a more strong, outgoing, brave personality, as opposed to Coop's kind of introverted, timid um, personality. And there's an amazing moment when he joins you where his girlfriend, Koopy Koo, um, comes out and is just like, hey, you don't need to prove yourself like this. I love you anyway. You're a great person. Just don't go and get yourself killed. And he's like, I absolutely understand what you're saying, but like I'm doing this for me. Like I need to be a different person for myself.
No.
And so you head off to Hooktail Castle. This castle is just filled with dry bones, the skeletons of Koopas
Dry
long past.
bones.
Um, Most of them don't wake up. They're just actual dead Koopas, and
Oh
they
no.
don't try to fight you. A lot of them do get up and try to fight you, but one of the ones that does not get up is this one right here, wearing these blue boots, which is the boots his Koops' father wore.
Oh no.
And the skeleton was clutching a piece of paper that is a note to his son. And I have the the text here. I came to this castle to destroy Hooktail, but I am stuck and can go no further. So in this letter I shall note Hooktail's weakness for those who follow. The dread Hooktail cannot tolerate creatures that begin with. Oh wait, this is on the screenshot. They change it in the remake. I don't know why they changed it in the remake. In the original, it's creatures that begin with CR and end with ICKET. Hidden
Ayo.
somewhere in this castle is an item related to Hooktail's weakness. If one is to have any hope of defeating Hooktail, one must first find this item. One last thing. If faced with ultimate doom, that fiend will use any trick to save itself. If you hope to defeat it, do not give in to your kinder nature and fall for its tricks. Alas, I do not have the strength to continue writing. Already mist veils my eyes. My last words to my son, Colorado. I love you, and I'm proud of who you become. And Coops reads that, thinking it's his dad, and then gets to Colorado and is like, oh, well, I guess I wasn't my dad, and kind of gets over it.
Oh my god.
For the people that play the original Paper Mario, Colorado is just a different character from the original game, and we now know his dad just dies in the sequel. He's
No.
never fucking found.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So going for I didn't mention this at the beginning. I'm only going up to chapter 5 for a couple reasons. One, I don't think we have time to do the entire game.
Okay.
And two, that's the last time a partner gets introduced.
Okay.
So that kind of like covers the majority of things you'll like. And if you like what you hear, people listening, go play the game.
Go play it.
And so you continue through this castle, and you meet a mysterious character called Miss Mouse, who is this badge thief who just you meet a few times across the game, and every time she's quite a flirt. I fucking love her. Ends up kissing Mario multiple times. Mario gets a lot of babes in this game. Almost every woman in this game is just like, wow, that burly hunk of Mario. I want some of that.
Give me some of that
Um
2D plumber. Let's go.
Literally is just unable to not get bitches. It's great.
What a curse. Oh my goodness.
But yeah, so Miss Mouse comes in just about every chapter, every other chapter, to fuck with Mario. It's great. Eventually at the end of the game you can get her as a partner. And this is like post game. So like you beat the game and you come back and you can get her as a partner. She's the most useless partner in all time. But I fucking love her.
We love ourselves some useless bitches, honestly.
But in this area you also get a new ability, which is you get another black crate, and he curses you again by feeding you all this bullshit about being the chosen one, and the only person who could hear the person in the chest is the chosen one. And you let him go, and you get the ability to turn sideways so you can walk through bars.
Nice.
Amazing ability. So you use that ability and your smarts to puzzle through the castle, eventually getting to Hooktail the dragon.
Hey, yo.
Fucking huge. Fucking love Hooktail.
I love the lighting. Let's go.
This is such a gorgeous bit. This also shows, actually, I think I'm in front of it. But Coop's down there in the bottom left corner. In the original game, none of the partners had back sprites, so he would just be like facing the camera while this dragon was yelling at them. But now he's actually looking at the dragon. He's interested.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's insane.
But yeah, so in this castle as well, you find a badge, which is you put them on to gain new abilities. Most of them are either they up your attack or your defense, or they give you a new kind of attack that like pierces through defense or whatever. This one changes how your attacks sound. In the original game, it makes them sound like a cricket. In the remake, it makes them sound like a frog because that's what Hooktail doesn't like. And so every time you hit Hooktail, their stomach gets upset because they ate either a cricket or a frog that made their stomach upset. And so now whenever they hear it, they're like, ooh, gross. I hate it. But once you get to nearly defeating Hooktail, she'll resort to trying to get you to be, be tricked into getting a cheap shot at you at first, being like, hey, I'll give you all of this money, it's right here in my like front foot here, if you'll just come over. And if you go over to try to get the money, she just stomps on you, getting an extra cheap. But if you say no, she'll try to continue to convince you. The best one is saying, hey, don't you want to smell my feet? They're great. This
Oh,
game's fucking freaky.
what a freak. Oh my
Maybe just a quick
goodness.
sniff.
That's disgusting. Disgusting. No shame.
But if you can muster all of your strength to not smell her amazing feet, then you beat her, and she throws up not only the crystal star, which she's eaten for some reason, but Koops' father. Koops' father is alive.
Oh
Um,
my god.
and Koops continues to want to go on adventures with you despite now having found his father. He's just like, well, there's more at play than just my father now. So it's like, I gotta go and continue to be a hero with Mario.
The hero.
And so the heroes go back to Rogueport, hold the map up to the Thousand Year Door again, and find out the next place they have to go. Leading us to Chapter 2, the Great Bogley Tree.
What a name.
So you go to Bogley Woods. This place is fucking gorgeous. Get ready.
I'm ready. Oh my goodness.
Look at this fucking place. It is so fucking good. So this area is the first time, which if anyone knows anything about this game, especially after the remake came out, Vivian, one of the three shadows, this is the first time you meet this character. I don't actually have a picture of her in this scene. We'll get to her later.
Okay.
But there is a group called the Three Shadows, and Vivian is one of those, along with, oh god, I can't remember her names, but there's Beldam and some other bitch who never actually speaks words. She just goes "Bleh," and never any words. But this is the first time you meet them, and they're hunting Mario, but they don't know what he looks like, so they were given a picture of him, which they've lost. And
Nice.
so they blame it on Vivian. Vivian gets all of the bullying in the world. It fucking sucks because she's amazing.
Oh.
Um, but so she's like being blamed for this, and now not only is being blamed for this unjustly because she didn't lose it. This necklace that she found is taken away from her, which she loved this necklace,
No.
and so she's just like crying the entire time.
No.
But you go past them, you just walk right past them because they have no idea who you are yet, and
That's
you get
funny.
to the Great Bogley. Oh, excuse me, I burped. The Great Bogley Tree. Um, Again, fucking gorgeous area. This is not
Beautiful.
by any means the most interesting chapter of them all. Absolutely beautiful. But you
Very
can see
beautiful.
there's this um what do I call it? This is like door here that does not look like it is part of the tree very clearly, and it is originally locked when you get here.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to go. There's another character here. They tell you that there's a secret entrance somewhere, but you need a special ability to find it. And he thinks, oh, well, the only person that might be able to do this is Miss Flurry, another character. And
Mm-hmm.
there's like a brief cutscene of her being like, oh, yeah, I need to go out more. It's been nice living in this kind of secluded area, but I live for the stage. She's a performer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but she can't actually leave yet because she's lost her necklace. And she can't be seen without her necklace. So when Mario and gang go and ask her for help, she's like, well, I can't help you because I've lost this necklace that is so valuable to me. That if seen without it would ruin my image.
Oh god. Not her image.
But you remember where you've heard someone's found a necklace recently, and so you go and battle the Three Shadows.
Mm-hmm.
You get the necklace, you bring it back to Flurry, and there is. Did I get the? Yeah, there we go. I just have it on the wrong order. But you give it to Flurry, and she comes out like this, looking hot as fuck, and kisses Mario immediately,
Of course.
because nobody can resist his charms.
Nobody can resist Mario.
Never. Um, And so she comes out and she blows away a fake wall that was covering the secret entrance. You can tell it's a secret entrance because it says it with blinking lights. And so you get to see the inside of the Boggly Tree, at this point filled with X-Nauts, like I said earlier, is the game's main villain. You don't know too much about them yet, but they are clearly looking for the crystal stars with you as well. And they're not Mario, so they're bad, so you got to beat them up.
Beat him up, beat him up.
The sad thing for the rest of this chapter, I do not find the story very interesting. It's really just setting up that the X-Nauts are the bad guys. So we're gonna go straight to chapter 3 because it is way more interesting.
Chapter 3, let's go. Chapter 3 is my
Chapter
lucky
3
number.
of Glitz and Glory. So
My new
the
album.
next the next stop that the map tells us to go to is a place called Glitzville. To get there, it is a city in the sky, so you have to take a blimp. And not just anyone can get a ticket to this blimp. You have to be connected to the CD Underworld in Rogueport. So we have to get to Don Pianta.
What a guy.
So there's just the mafia. So after figuring out how to get into a meeting with Don Pianta, which is a lot of like knowing secret passwords and doing things for unscrupulous people, you get to meet him. And he's like, I would be in a much more agreeable mood to help this random person who's walked into my office for no fucking reason other than to ask me for a favor.
Mm-hmm.
If you would go and find my daughter who's run off with one of my goons to get married.
Gasp.
And so you find them at the beginning of the game where you came in through the port getting ready to leave. And they are like, no, we're not going back. We have to run off and get married together. But the goon that she's running off with feels really bad about it and doesn't just want to leave the Dawn. So eventually, when you come back to report on where you found them so that they can go and, I guess, force them back, because Mario does not give a shit, apparently, about love.
Nope.
They come back and say that they're not going to leave and that they don't want to do anything that's going to hurt the Dawn. And he nearly breaks down crying, being like, you know what? Whatever you two do, just fucking do it and get out of here. And so they run off and get married. And in doing that, he's like, well, at least you've let me get some closure. Here's a ticket to the blimp to get to Glitzville. And so this is another part of like, I fucking love how this game looks. Look at all the partners sitting there in the blimp, just flying through the sky on their way to Glitzville. So Glitzville is my favorite chapter in the entire game. It is wrestling.
Wrestling?
It's wrestling. It's fucking great.
I love that.
So you land in Glitzville, and we're like, well, we're going to have to go find out where this crystal star is. So they go into what is called the Glitz Pit, which is where all the wrestling happens. And you see this guy, Rockhawk, jumping up on stage onto the arena with a star on his belt. So you're like, oh, well, that was pretty easy. Now we just have to become champion. We have to become world champion in this wrestling arena to get the crystal star.
As you do.
And so Mario gets a new partner, a baby Yoshi. We're not going to go over how that interaction goes because you have to experience it yourself. Please play the game. Anyone who's gotten this far, please play the game. Go fucking play it.
Anyway, play the
game. Mario dons the title The Great Gonzalez and begins climbing the ranks. And about halfway through, you start getting these cryptic messages from a person who only calls themselves X, saying that, like, hey, there's some weird things happening here. And you start noticing a couple of the other wrestlers start go missing. And they're kind of just like going around finding all these clues of what's happening, not really sure, but continuing to climb the ranks. You also find out that the star on Rockhawk's belt is a fake. So you're just like, oh, well, we kind of lost the trail, but we're still going to become world champions because there's nothing else to do here other than to do that. But you eventually find out that the the boss of the wrestling arena, um, he's been draining wrestlers of their essence to make himself forever young. And that's where all of these people have been going missing. They've had their entire energy drained to feed the CEO.
I mean,
And
that sounds right.
yeah, so once you become champion, you can break into this CEO's office and find the blueprints for this machine that drains people of all of their essence. And as you figure that out, and it's like, oh, hey, the crystal star powers this machine, so we got to go shut that down anyway. So it's like a win-win for us. We're like doing a good thing and getting our reward.
Yeah.
Um, he finds you. He comes back into his office and is like, "Oh shit, you found me out. Let me go charge myself up in this machine to about 5 times my size, and kill you, and drain your energy to make myself forever young."
Oh my.
Um,
But I love the
Also,
art.
people who know this game know I'm skipping a ton of the story here. I have 3 more chapters to go through. Give me a break. So yeah, you fight him, and one of the original world champions, who I guess it's implied he was the first one to be drained, um, gets like shot out of the crystal star. And so like this original world champion is now just like back into the world. So, very fucked up that he was just stuck in a crystal star for who knows how long.
No food,
Um,
no water, just star.
yeah, being drained forever of their energy.
How powerful was he? If he was the star power. He's got some
Th-
serious
this
star
guy,
power.
this guy. If I didn't play the game before, I think my first playthrough is like this is where I got stuck the first time. He's got a lot of power from this original
Hey
world
yo.
champion.
Hey yo.
But anyway, you beat him, and he no longer runs the glitz pit. His like secretary takes over. Um, and at the end of the game, you can come back and do the climbing through the ranks again at the end of the game with all of the powers and stuff you've gained from the rest of the game, which is really fun. I like that
I
they did
love
that.
that. I love that replayability.
But now we can get into chapter 4, which is where we finally get to talk about Vivian. Let's fucking go. So,
For pigs.
for pigs, the bell tolls.
That's quite the name.
So, you go to a town. Uh, I shouldn't have said town because now it's going to sound weird. Twilight Town. You go to Twilight Town.
Oh my gosh.
Um, where all these kind of like, they're not depressed. They're very happy people, but they look really depressed. People reside, and when you get there, there is this horrible curse being thrown onto the land, where every time a bell tolls in the not the watchtower, the bell tower, one of the residents turns into a pig.
That's
And
horrifying.
so Mario's mission is now to like go and find out and stop what's doing this before everyone's a fucking pig.
We can't have the whole town be cops. Sorry.
Exactly.
I'm not sorry, but you know.
But you also, I'm going to skip ahead because I need to explain a thing for a joke that's about to come up. But you meet Vivian here, and I'll get to what makes you and Vivian become close in just a moment. But her power is she will like drag you into the shadows so that one, you're out of harm's way of anything on like the regular plane.
Mm-hmm.
And you can kind of get secrets out of birds. Because
Oh.
Vivian's like, oh yeah, birds just like speak English when no one's listening. Like if you try to speak to the birds regularly, they're just cawing at you. But you go into the shadows and they say things like, when will people wake up and realize that environmental problems won't just go away?
What? Oh my god.
No kidding. Air pollution, global warming, acid rain, the ozone layer depletion. They didn't start on their own, and they aren't going to end on their own either.
That's insane.
We love woke crows.
woke crows. That's gonna be me when I'm
Um,
old.
Yeah, but I just don't see a solution at this rate of global consumption habits. It's so fucking good.
I mean, they're right.
They're so right. Um, but anyway, going back now, Mario makes it to this bell tower, and at the top of this tower, meets this character called Dupless. He is a Dupla ghost, known for their shape-shifting abilities.
Look at it.
And mhm.
I just the me time. Sorry.
What are you doing interrupting my me time?
So cute.
Yeah, you get to the top of the tower and he's just like in a renovated apartment. It's great. He has like a shower set up and everything.
Oh my god.
But you fight him, and in like the middle of the battle, he turns into the shadow version of Mario and starts using your attacks against you. Once you beat him, um, another cutscene plays where the crystal star falls out of him, and it was like, oh, that was really easy. Let's go, Mario. Mario's looking a little weird though. And so it's like, oh well, he just must be tired or something. And so the chapter ends, but then Mario leaves the scene, and you're only able to see Shadow Mario. And then you start controlling Shadow Mario and realize that your identity has been stolen.
Judas. Oh no.
And so you lose all of your partners and
No.
are this shadow creature that nobody really trusts, except for another shadow, Vivian. And so this is how you get in close with Vivian. Is she's kind of like crying because her sisters are blaming her for another thing that she didn't do, which is losing a super bomb. And once you find it, you give it back to her, and it's broken because it's been dropped and left on the floor for a while.
Oh my god.
And she's like, well, I don't really want to go back to my sisters because they'll just yell at me, and you've been really nice, so I guess I'm just gonna like stick around with you. Like, and she starts giving like info dumping her lore, which is that she's trans. And she's like, yeah, it took me a really long time to realize that I'm their sister, not their brother.
Hell yeah.
And so like fully canon trans woman in my Mario game. Let's fucking
trans
go.
women in my Mario game? Yes, please. Yes. Yes. Yeah, give me more. Give me more.
So, every time you try to enter Twilight Town or exit Twilight Town, Dupless will stop you and be like, you're just a stupid shadow. You're never going to muster up to anything. I'm going to beat the shit out of you every time you come through here. Unless you can guess my name, because their name is their crux. And if you can say their name, they start losing their power.
Hey, yo.
And so every time you come through, you can guess, but the lowercase p is missing from the menu, so you can never actually guess their name.
Huh.
So you have to go find the letter P in his house that is guarded by traps and learn his name, because you don't learn his name until you find that letter P.
Oh
You
my
find
God.
you figure out his name because he's locked his parrot in with that letter, who just says his name.
Oh my
He's
God.
like, it's like, I get that no one can know his name, but did he really have to lock me in here?
Jeez.
And so once you get that letter P and learn his name, you can go back, type his name in finally. What a weird mechanic for this game, that you just can't say the letter P in canon. Mario just doesn't know the letter P until he gets it, I guess.
Maybe it was he forgot. I mean, he was kissed by a lot of women, so
I would forget letters too.
Yeah. So
But you end up beating him. You go up to the tower again, where he runs and hides after you say his name. And at first, Vivian's with you throughout this entire thing until you get to that battle where all of Mario's partners say Mario's name again. And she's like, hey, wait, you're Mario? I've been helping out this person I'm supposed to be fighting against this entire time. And leaves you.
Oh no.
Leaves you for a few rounds. And so you have to battle him. You have to battle Dupless alone for a little bit until Vivian comes back and is just like, you know, even though you're Mario and we're supposed to hate you, like, you're the only person who's ever been nice to me. So I think I'm just going to stick with you instead of go back to my sisters.
Oh my goodness.
It's so fucking good.
That's so cute. I mean, it's not
Anyway.
cute that it's not cute that her sisters treat her like that, but it's really cute that She comes back.
Yeah,
That's so
fucking
sweet.
transphobic bitches.
Transphobic bitches.
Um, but that's about it for that chapter. You eventually beat Dupless and get your identity back. Um, Later in the game, when you fight the Shadows again, now that Vivian's on your side, Dupless joins them and is just like an honorary shadow and doesn't really know what's going on, has kind of lost purpose in his life.
Oh my goodness. At least he
But
found
after
his home.
this, yes, after this, you go back to Thousand Year Door and you find out the next star is on a deserted island. You don't have a boat, so chapter 5, the key to pirates. The
Oh
first thing you
yeah.
have to do in this chapter is find someone who has a boat who can take you.
Yayo,
And there's one
yayo.
person everybody points you to, and that's this fucker on the right named Flavio.
Oh my god, that's definitely a One Piece pirate if I've ever seen one.
I would
Raymond,
not be at all surprised
don't give
if
it up,
that was
Mario.
the inspiration.
Sorry, I keep over talking over you because I'm excited about pirates and One Piece.
We love pirates.
Wait, yes, we.
Um, so Flavio is like, "Oh, there's a great treasure hidden on this island. All right, you have the map, I have a boat, let's go." But he gets to his boat and he's like, "Well, I don't really have someone who knows how to pilot a boat." And you kind of figure out that Flavio is kind of a fake.
Oh god.
Um, but there is someone the other kind of pirates in Rogueport know can definitely pilot a ship, and that is a person by the name of Admiral Bobbery. And so your next mission is to get Admiral Bobbery on team.
What a name. I love this
Look
man.
at his mustache.
He's so elegant. Oh my god.
So once you find out who Admiral Bobbery is and where he is, one, his door's locked and he does not answer it. So you have to fall through his chimney in the back here into his room and be like, "Hey, help us."
Ugh.
And the first time you talk to him, he's just like, "I don't know any Admiral Bobbery. Sorry, I can't help you. You know, get out of my fucking house." And you end up figuring, I don't forget how you figure it out because I've just known it for so long now. But you end up talking to the barkeep, um, this bean dude in the back
Mm-hmm.
of the bar, and he's like, "Oh yeah, Bobbery. A lot of fucked up shit's happened in his life, and he's kind of like not into sailing anymore." And you find out his story is that while he was out sailing, his wife, Scarlett, gets sick and dies while he's out at sea.
No.
And he always blames himself for that. And so vows to never sail again.
No.
And once you talk to the barkeep, he's like, I didn't have the nerve to give him this, and gives you an envelope with a letter from Scarlett to Bobbery that she wrote before she died. And he's just like, I never had the nerve to give this to him, but if you do, give this to Bobbery, and hopefully that will help him.
Oh.
And the note reads, "My love, if you're reading this letter, then I am no longer by your side, because fate has stepped between us. I have decided to write you this letter. If you're reading this, I must have passed away while you were out at sea. I can only assume that you will blame yourself for it, my sweet Bobbery. Although my life was short, you gave me more than a lifetime's worth of joy. Though you will mourn, I beg that you remember that time, that like time, uh, that time, like love, is a tide. You are one with the sea as you were one with me. Do not lose both your life's loves."
Oh.
It's so fucking sad that I got tongue tied because I was tearing up. It's so fucking sad.
Mario, why you get so real?
And Bobbery, after reading this, is just like, "I will help you, but I need like 5 minutes." And presumably goes into the back of his house and cries for a while and is like, "Okay, I'm good now. Let's fucking go."
Okay, I've let it all out. I'm ready.
And so they get on the ship, they go towards this island called Keelhaul Key. Um, Awesome name.
What a name.
On the way, one night they are bombarded by these fiery spirits that destroy the ship, leaving them stranded on this island. And a couple people of the crew missing. One of the people missing is Admiral Bobbery. Eventually, you find him, and he wants to give his life up for saving everybody else on the island and get like explodes so that these spirits will let everybody go while being distracted with him. And you eventually find him under this tree, and he's just like, "Oh, I just want one last thing before I go. I need a soda, a Chicola Cola." And so you get him that, and he's like, "All right, I can finally pass on." And he falls asleep under the tree. And so you just hit him with a hammer to wake him up, and then he becomes your partner.
Oh my god.
He is one of the best partners, and I don't want to spoil too much of his dialogue because it is fucking amazing. Um, the rest of the chapter, I don't find too much else to talk about. This is my last slide. Um, but what I would like to ask is, was there anything throughout this you wanted to hear more about?
Ooh. Um Obviously all of these partners that you can acquire are extremely interesting. Um I am kind of curious though. Is Peach okay?
So Peach is on the moon.
Yeah.
So Peach gets kidnapped by the X-Nauts, which, like I said, they're the main bad guy, and they've
Mhm.
kept her locked up. But Peach's plot, actually, I don't know how I didn't put this into this slideshow. I guess maybe at the time I was thinking I didn't want to spoil it, but fuck it.
Fuck it.
She's kidnapped and locked up by the X-Nauts and is being watched over by their supercomputer tech, TEC, abbreviated.
Nice.
Um, and one of the weird things about this game, you can make Peach get naked a weird amount of times in this game
Oh.
because there's just a shower that you can use a few times throughout the game where she's locked up, and she will just like drape her dress over the edge of the shower while she's showering. She comes out with a new hairstyle that doesn't last fucking any time before it goes back to normal. It's a cool little thing. It's weird that you can do it so often.
It's still
Um,
cute.
it is cute. Um, and she eventually starts talking to the supercomputer tech, and tech short circuits every time he fucking sees her, falls so deeply in love with Peach. One At the end of every chapter, there's this kind of intermission where you play as Peach and then you play as Bowser. I didn't mention
Okay.
it because I want people to experience that themselves, but I'll talk about some of Peach's, to where like she kind of helps Tech learn love when he was never meant to be programmed to learn that. Very much the cliche, oh, the robot learns to love. It is very
Oh.
sad multiple times though.
Oh.
One of the things, it's like he's supposed to be this like, oh, evil supercomputer, but in return for like Peach sending Mario messages throughout the game of like what's going on and like leaking the evil plot that's happening below his nose. And Tech is just like, "Oh, can you teach me how to dance? Because I want to dance with you."
Mm, that's so
And
cute.
it's just so fucking cute about it. And like he doesn't even know everything that's happening, the supercomputer, so he enlists Peach to go and like spy through the base and learn more things. One of it is she has to go and get dressed in an X-Naut uniform. Another instance of she just has to remove all of her clothes for a moment, which is weird, but it's like, okay, whatever. It's happened twice. And then another one's where she gets an invisibility potion that doesn't make her clothes invisible. So she has to walk around the base naked, which is weird.
They're just looking for reasons. They just want to talk about
They
feet
any reason.
and they want to undress Peach. I want to see that Peach.
Literally, it's fucking crazy. But eventually, for the longest time, you don't even know she's on the moon. She learns it very close to when she's taken away from it.
Mm.
Um, but they, the X-Nauts eventually figure out that Tech has kind of gone rogue and wipe his memory. And like one of the last things he ever says is "I love you" to Peach before he like goes
No,
offline for a moment before being fully reset.
my boy.
Um, but there are remnants of his personality left later when Mario goes to the moon. Long story, he gets shot out of a big ass cannon, um, and just lands on the moon.
What a
Um,
guy.
see the after chapter 5, or not really after chapter 6, the game goes really fast after that. And that's half the reason I don't want to talk about those chapters is they go by really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, you meet this like Soviet Bob-omb um community who has a giant cannon that they fill with like hundreds of bob-ombs that shoots you to the moon. And you
Bruh.
eventually get to the room where Tech is stored
Doesn't
and
that
you meet him. Hmm.
doesn't that kill them?
No, they're fine.
Okay.
They're good.
As long as they're fine.
Yeah, they don't have like a space helmet either. They're just like walking on the moon. It's great.
Goodness.
Um, but you eventually find Tech, and a self-destruct sequence is initiated on that moon base where Tech is located. And
No.
while you're talking to him as Mario, he's just like, "Tell Princess Peach thank you." And once you get off of the base, and there's a teleporter on the base, so you can teleport back to Rogueport.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the moon base just fucking explodes, and Tech is presumed dead. Um,
No.
he gets better. I wish he didn't, honestly. But,
You wish Tech didn't get better?
um, mainly because I think it's such an impactful moment
Oh.
that to have him come back is like, oh, okay.
Well, I mean, they're not supposed to die in the Mario games, right?
I mean, Bobbery's wife dies.
But we never. She was just dead though.
She was already dead.
She was already dead. You can't do the act of dying in a Mario game. You always
Uh,
come back.
I'm trying to think if Super Paper Mario does, because they kind of do. Super Paper Mario, like I said, is wild. Um, but so yeah, Peach. Eventually, at the very end of the game, they use Peach as a pure soul for the actual thing that's behind the Thousand-Year Door, which is a huge shadow demon queen who possesses her body and
No.
uses it to fight against you in the final battle.
What the
Of course,
heck?
Mario eventually wins. Um, also, wait, let me get back to one of the slides. So this one, Rogueport, whereas did I never actually get? I didn't get. Okay, wait, hold up. I'm loading up the game real quick because I have to show you what Rogueport just looks like.
Show me. Show me Rogueport. This game is adorable. So,
This game's fucking good.
while you're pulling it up, so have you played all of the Paper Marios?
Um, I I didn't play Color Splash.
Oh my god.
But yeah, this is the main area of Rogueport. There's just a fucking gallows in the middle.
Yeah?
Don't mind that.
Don't mind that. Just for the pirates.
Yeah, and this is like where one of the last scenes happens. Is like the crystal stars illuminate the area around this gallows and frame it front and center for the very end of the game. It's craziness, the shit that they do in this game. Also, you can ride the baby Yoshi. He
But
needs to
he
go
looks
faster.
so stressed.
He's like, oh, fucking heavy ass plumber.
Ha! Oh my god, he flushed. He flushes!
Well, welcome to the very end of this video where it's just a let's play now.
That's so
Anyway,
cute.
but so this is where this is like the fast travel kind of area to where like these are all the different chapters you can go to. So we
Nice.
stopped at 5. Also, this place is gorgeous, and I didn't put enough images in, so you're getting see it again.
Okay. So have you played all of the Paper Marios or just a couple
I
of them?
played all but one.
Okay. This is so
I love my
cute.
beach levels.
A beach episode. Are they mermaids?
No, these are just 3 toads that like traveling.
They're just chilling.
We are the Traveling Sisters 3. The water's so cold, but it feels so good.
Oh my god. He looks so stressed.
No, you want to see him stressed. Just wait. Come on, game mode.
No! He's trying so hard.
God, this game is so fucking pretty.
It is so pretty.
But here, I'll give a quick tour of the areas we were not able to talk about the chapters for.
The flushing. The flushing.
Oh. So, chapter 6, it starts with you needing to get on a train to Poshley Heights. There's like a. It's not a murder mystery. There's a lot of mysteries happening on the train. Oh, wait, I haven't got. This is one of the partners from the original game. You
my
can talk to them
goodness.
again.
She's so cute.
Bootler.
Guaya!
Fucking love her.
I love her. This is so cute.
See, this is really the part where you need to go watch on the YouTube version.
Oh yeah.
I think this place sells spaghetti. And it's just, this is the only place you can get spaghetti. Yeah.
Spaghetti. Poshley Heights pasta.
Yeah, this is where all the rich fucks go. It's great. You don't do much in this area because most of the chapter's spent on the train.
Gotcha.
Let's go see the Soviet bombs.
Soviet bombs.
I love how we get 60 FPS only here. I mean 30. Don't look at me, Nintendo. Soviet bombs.
Oh, the houses have little faces. That's cute.
Wonder, is the cannon out? No, this is the area where the big cannon is. It just comes up from the ground. Can I use it? Will they just let me do it?
Hoot hoot.
No. Cannon will not be fired until day we have been waiting for comes. Okay. Yeah, there's a huge cannon in there.
Hey yo.
Yeah, so Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, fucking good game, fucking beautiful remake. It fixes a lot of the issues with the original. In the original, this fast travel area was a lot more convoluted, and you couldn't really tell where you were going. You had to kind of memorize it. A lot of people didn't even know it existed. But like this, much better, especially in Chapter 7, you were kind of forced to backtrack through all of these areas, and it was such a pain in the ass in the original.
Oh man.
Especially if you didn't know there was a fast travel mechanic,
Oh no.
which a lot of people didn't. So it took fucking forever.
That's crazy.
Let's go to Thousand Year Door. I was like, oh, I'm not going to spoil things, and now I'm going to take you to the last area in the game.
I mean, I can cut it out of the video if it's just for me.
I mean, I don't care. People, if you don't want to get spoiled, fuck off. I mean, just mute it and look away so we still get the watch time.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's pretty.
This leads into the Shadow Palace. I'm not going to show too much. But yeah, that's Paper Mario.
It's fantastic.
Was there any questions you had?
Um.
So, you were talking about have I played them all, and I don't think it didn't went anywhere.
Oh, you said you played all but one.
All but one. I did not play Color Splash, as because I heard it was really shit, and it was after Paper Mario Sticker Star, which is renowned as the worst in the series. It is so extremely bland. The gameplay is not fun. In fact, to play that game optimally, you skip the gameplay. Because you're absolutely allowed to. It gives you nothing in return for actually playing the game.
That's wild. I
Um,
like I said, I didn't know this series existed in the first place. So all the knowledge that I have of this is everything you've provided me. Was this like impactful for you growing up?
yes, it is still impactful for me now. I think it is still one of the best games of all time, if not the best game of all time. I can't do it necessarily as anywhere near as much justice as it deserves talking about it as if you just played the game.
Oh yeah.
So I absolutely suggest go out and play the game. Most of its charm is in its dialogue. Is one of the most in-depth written games, because one of our partners, Goombella, oh god, that took so fucking long. The game is so slow right now. If you just go up, any person you can go up and talk to, she has lines of dialogue about them to tell you who the fuck this person is and kind of what they're about.
Oh my goodness.
She has it's a tattle about every enemy in the game that gives you extra dialogue written in her voice. So it's not she's not just an encyclopedia. There's certain characters she will just be like, that dude's fucking ugly. I don't like him. And it's really fucking funny.
That's amazing.
And also, everywhere you're at, she can tell you about the area. So this is Rogueport's main square. It's sort of the central shopping area, I guess. And there's a lot of folks There's a lot of regular working folks here, but there are also ne'er-do-wells.
Oh my gosh.
And this game just has so much charm. Another small thing throughout the game. Let me see if I can find him. Is he in here? No. Luigi's somewhere around here. Whoops. Throughout the game, you will find Luigi, and he'll have his own partners.
Oh, that's cool.
Is he up here? There's Luigi. But one of the best things about his partners is he will tell you of this grand adventure that he's going on, full of hyperbole. And then you talk to his partner, he's like, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. He's a liar. I'm only following him because he threw me into a volcano and I'm going to make him pay. It's just like, damn, Luigi's just fucking up.
Damn, Luigi.
There's one partner who he's like, oh yeah, I'm only following this guy around because he ruined one of my, he ruined my car and I'm going to follow him around until he pays me 50,000 coins to fix it.
Oh my god. What a way to get partners.
So fucking good.
Oh my god. I love that. This game is so good.
It's amazing. I'm eventually going to stream it all the way through along with Super Paper Mario because that game's fucking crazy too.
And where can people find you streaming?
People can find me streaming on Twitch, Mrs. Ashley B, MISSUS Ashley B. If you don't want to type all that out, just type MISSUS Ashley.gay. You can find my website, and it will link you to all of the places I can be found, like Twitter, Blue Sky, Twitch, my other podcasts.
Fuck yeah. I'm not trying to segue into an ending. I just know that it's just like, while we're here, while we're mentioning it, where can we watch you stream this?
It's gonna be a fucking grand time. I've already played through the remake once, and I cannot wait to play through it again. I don't know if I have too much else to say about it without just saying, go fucking play this game, please. Sell enough copies that Nintendo learns their lesson for the past 3 Paper Mario games.
If I have any mission in this whole thing.
Literally, if they do not make another Paper Mario game in this style, I am going to fucking cry.
I will fucking...
From what I've heard, it sold so extremely well that they ran out of pre-order copies.
Oh, that's good. I guess.
Because, like, some places were just like... People were talking about it online. It's like, I can't even place a pre-order anymore because they stopped doing it at, like, Walmart and Target.
Bruh.
So, we're presuming they ran out of physical copies to sell.
I guess that's a good sign. I suppose. Who is your favorite partner in this game?
Well, I'm nothing if not predictable. It is Vivian here.
Vivian!
She's so fucking cute.
She is. She
Love
truly
her.
is. Do you just keep them in your pocket?
Yeah. Also, the baby Yoshi,
Mhm.
depending on how long you have their egg for, because you get their egg first and then they hatch, and that's how you get them. Depending on how long you have their egg for, they'll come out a different color.
Oh, that's cool.
You also get to name them. Mine's name is Ripper.
I mean, that's such a
um,
sick name.
Flurry is like, I want to like Flurry more because she's got tits, but
Big
I
Ursula
don't
energy.
care for her. Her character is just not there for me.
Gotcha.
I think like everybody has a really strong character except for her, where she just kind of wants to be an actress.
I mean, I get it. We've all been there.
But it's like Goombella is here not only because of just her strong will, but she's like incredibly intelligent, has such a crazy personality, wants to prove herself to Professor Frankly that she's like really good at this whole archaeology thing, and eventually becomes his understudy. And Coops is out here trying to prove not only to everybody else but to himself that he can be a hero. And
Hero.
he, despite his cowardice.
Despite everything.
Yoshi's here because we birthed him, I guess. And he's not going to leave us. Vivian's here because she finally learned how to love herself and get away from her toxic family. And Bobbery finally got over the depression from losing his wife while at sea and has found his love of the sea again and now sails every day.
Look at him go. Unless he's in your pocket.
You can throw him and make him explode.
Oh no! the bar guy, he was just chilling.
You can also just like hit people. And they're like, what the fuck?
Without, because you're Mario, no consequences.
Yeah, fuck you.
Oh my goodness. Let's see. I don't know. I know this game's just absolutely incredible. Did you have any like closing thoughts on Paper Mario? In the thousand what how
The
how does it,
1,000-year door.
that I was about to say thousand seal door. I'm like, no, that's not it.
Nothing I haven't said of just it's such an amazing game. It's full of charm. There's so much that I didn't get to talk about. Mainly, I don't want to, so that people can figure it out on their own, and that there's just way too much to talk about. It is incredibly dense. The only complaint I have is the last couple of areas go by really quickly, but you can kind of tell that they spent all of their budget at the beginning of the game. And not beginning, like the majority of the game. It's that last quarter. It goes by really quickly. And I wish it didn't. Like that snow area, that town, there's only 2 other screens to that entire area. Like, I wish we could have spent more time in that snowy area. It's beautiful.
Do you think they'll have DLC?
I don't think so. I think what I hope is that they'll make another game in this style.
Another
I think they'll learn that people want original Paper Mario.
Another one.
I hope they'll remake the first game. It is not my favorite. I think that is the next logical step, is to remake the first game now. Make fingers crossed, remake Super Paper Mario, please. It is such a crazy fucking game. It deserves more of a spotlight. People hated it when it came out because it did not play anything like Thousand Year Door or the original. It's a side scroller kind of. It's hard to explain fully, but you don't get into turn-based battles. You jump on your enemies to defeat them. It's very different, but its spirit is there in the way that the story is incredibly well written. The characters are extremely fun to experience. And its soul is still there. After Super Paper Mario, it loses its soul, though, which is sad. But maybe we'll get it back now. I want it back.
I feel like this is a good place to tie it up unless you had anything else you wanted to mention.
No.
No?
I think I've covered a lot of what I love about this game.
And I'm in love. I need to get my Nintendo Switch and make a purchase when I get my paycheck.
Fucking do
Write it off on my taxes.
it. Stream it. There you go.
Yeah, stream it. I can write it off on my taxes. Well, thank you for coming on the show again.
Yeah.
I expect to see you next season.
Always. Next season, another Star Trek episode. Just you wait.
And just I'm
Gonna start working on it right now.
fuck yeah. So I know you mentioned your plugs earlier, but do you want to bring in your plugs once more, just for the funsies?
Yes, Mrs. Ashley.gay, MISSUS Ashley.gay. That's LEY Ashley. I feel like the other way to write it is just like that's a prick move. Fuck
Ashley.
that other way.
Ashley.
But that has all of my links to it. It has my other Mario, wake up. So he fell asleep and started snoring in my ear. How rude. But it has links to my Twitch, my Blue Sky, my Twitter, also a link to my other podcast, Comic Book Tour Guide, that I do with Jesse, where we just talk about whatever comic books we ended up fascinated by. And while I don't know very much about comics, Jesse does, so I kind of get a tour guide through comics without having to read a single one. It's
That's
great.
such a good promo.
It's a lot like this, except comics specifically.
Specifically comics. Give it a listen. Do it now. After this, right now.
Right now. In a couple minutes when we actually finish.
Yeah,
right
in
now.
a couple minutes. Watch the full video. If you want to find me on the internet, you can find me at I Appreciate Your Butt at the twitter.com or the TikTok or the Tumblrs or the Blue Sky. If you want to find this podcast as a whole, you can find us at the Hyperfix Pod on Twitter, Tumblr, Blue Sky, and TikTok. Or you could support us on Patreon at patreon.com/the hyperfixation. You know, for $1, you can get stuff early if you want. Not a bad move. Not a bad move, in my opinion. This whole podcast is thanks to the Moonshot Network, so you can find them at Moonshot Pods on Twitter, Tumblr, and Blue Sky. I almost said SoundCloud. And if you want to watch the podcasters, you can watch them on YouTube or Twitch at Moonshot Network. And I believe that's all the things I have to say. I believe that's everything.
Hell yeah.
Thank you so much. Be safe, don't
Yeah.
die. Drink your water. And Badoo.
Play Paper Mario.
Play Paper Mario!